Check. Hey, there it is. I've been over here ranting and raving about shit, trying to tell people stuff, and didn't matter. Okay, funny. I'm over here discussing this timing map and what it does, and stuff people say on the internet that's dumb and been going on for the last freaking 5 minutes, and didn't even realize there's no audio. I'm so used to the audio working. I are dumb sometimes. I posted a video today about some updates on the testing thing last week that didn't happen the way I'd hoped it did or would. Um, I'm gonna save this now so that I change some stuff. Change two things. Sorry for the rocking. I'm punching away on my thing here. Come on. Wait till like 4 times. Six. See how that goes. Some testing. Oh, I used the wrong one. Son of a bitch. Yeah, it's fine. We hit those load cells anyways. We'll be. Oh yeah. We close loop anyways. Or open loop anyways. Oh yeah, what was the pattern? I had the pattern figured out at one point. See when you add with the cob, see it starts. All right, so here's 0, and then like as you add, it's not adding a full 20 or 0.2, right? So here's 0.3, and this one is 1.2, but it's not just 1.2 because right here you see it went up. It's just under 1.2. It's almost like it's 1.1999 or something, right? So boom, all of a sudden goes to that. So I had a pattern figured out. I forget what it was now. Up too far. Where I could go and get it to stay even. And I stopped doing copper soling. I tried the pattern. 2, 3. That's 4 changes. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, changed on me. 2. Oops. Got it. All the dumb shit. Like, I'm over here trying to get the stuff to be correct. You know. Oh no, there's a 1 right there. Oh, I almost had it. And there's a 1 right there. Son of a bitch. You got me. I lost. Anyways. Um, all right. So, cam timing here. You're looking at this, you're like, oh, you added some cam timing to it. What, what's up with that? So, a factory cam timing is based on the back pressure of the engine, makes it at that current state. Now, with the factory downpipe and stuff, it's relatively restrictive. So your back pressure on the engine, like pre-turbo, is a lot higher than it would be otherwise. So if you added cam timing, then the increase in overlap would pollute the cylinders more with exhaust gas and a bunch of things like that. But the the reduced restriction with a full exhaust on it gets you a brake. It lets you have a little more overlap. It's a quick way of saying it. I'm not good at multitasking, talking about what I'm doing and trying to explain lessons sometimes while I'm doing it. I don't always do a really good job. I think it's because I have a penis. Uh, Now, you see here, what I'm doing here is different than what you're seeing on that map. One thing I do for us, we're at it's a little over 13 for our pressure here. So I bring the wastegate deuce about to where it is now, and I tune it for where we're at now, and then prevent boost spikes when they go down to Seattle and shit. Then I change that to be closer to atmospheric. There we go. Prevent some major boost spikes and stuff happening. People travel down to sea level from here. So this is only done because this is the elevation that we're at. This is the pressure where we're at, and it hovers around here this point. But this is my base. It's my STP, if you will. My standard pressure. This is my atmospheric pressure that's being tuned at. And if they go down the sea level, the system's gonna be more responsive. And for some reason, sometimes the maps have different stuff. Like, it's really interesting, actually. Super's own map right here. Unload the comparison. Super's own map on this is different than what Cobb does. So there's factory. So they've got negative duty cycle down here. I say negative. This is a compensation remove duty cycle in this zone, because at this elevation, at this RPM, if you were trying to those target boost levels and everything, you're going to overspeed the shit out of the turbo. So this is more turbo protection than anything. At this elevation, it's going to take more than this to hit those boost numbers, right? You're going to need a lot more duty cycle to hit those boost targets. But to actually achieve that could be potentially dangerous to the engine. Comp takes it, at least on this year, and does like a linear thing, which I guess is all right. I'm not totally opposed to it, obviously, because I keep it that way. I keep it somewhat linear in that range. They just did it to keep pulling down as you get up. Technically, this could be 0 here. Right, you could be totally zeroed out right there. Totally safe. And in fact, this whole region here could be zeros. Totally safe. That's okay. That's totally good. And then really you just want to pull some duty cycle at the top end to keep overspeeding your turbo and blowing it to schnitzy high. So something like this is more representative of what the table is intended to do. Something like that would be closer with the way this table is intended to be used. But it's such this area is so rarely hit. Like you're almost never hitting that region. Like it just the chance of that happening is so slim that what you do down here honestly doesn't freaking matter. Um, what I do because I want to make sure that the car doesn't overboost when it goes down to sea level. And then when it goes higher than this, we got some protection against that, just get the turbo intact. But that's it. Like it's not that important overall. It's just something to kind of tweak a little bit. This right here, I do this on almost all of mine. I usually actually have more pulled longer than this, so like this obviously Cobb has that. I usually have mine pulled even longer because I don't want people to grenade their shit. You know, some people honestly have no self-control. You know, this one's boost target, right? This is different than ways because this target based on intake air temp, the pre-turbo air temp. This one sucks. Honestly, this one sucks because the location of the intake air temp sensor on the Subaru is trash to begin with. So it's a total bummer that it's there in the first place. Or it's a bummer the turbo. God damn it! It's a bummer the intake air temp sensor, the intake of the turbo, because that boost target is really kind of worthless because it doesn't necessarily dictate anything. Because you could be sitting in traffic and you're stuck in under hood temps, and that goes up. Get moving though, it's actually cooler outside. Get moving and immediately drops. You know, like it just isn't indicative of what's going into the engine. Whereas, comparison. Whereas an intake air temp sensor post intercooler, well, that's about as indicative as you can get what's going into the engine. I knocked that down some because there's an EBCS on this car, and I don't want to get too active. Got to change the duty cycle there. So here's, that'd be the wrong one. I did not. Yeah, I'm a dummy. I did the wrong one. So this is a boost target, similar to what I thought I was adjusting because I was distracted. For boost target now, we're reducing the target at those high elevations because, like I said earlier, you would never hit those targets anyways. So by reducing the target up there, you help prevent, one, trying to achieve an impossible target, and two, overspeed the turbo trying to achieve possible target. So this map here, the way I adjust it, is still correct because we're doing the same thing. I just didn't do the duty cycle like I thought I was doing. And I saw it and I was like, wait a second. So this is almost exactly the same table, right? Similar concept. You see here it starts with 4 though. So 1 for 0 here. There we go. 6. Okay. And this is now 4,000, so it's already high up. I'm still going to actually take this down a little bit because 4,000, let's have a little fun. Let's not push out on it. There we go. I still have plenty of turbo protection there. Here's duty cycle baseline coolant temp. The other one was boost target baseline coolant temp. Here's intake temp. Now this one, however, is kind of important in regards to if you have high intake air temps and the turbo, it's going to be less responsive. So having higher duty cycle up here would help you hit those target boost numbers. However, how accurate is this temperature? Is this under hood temp? Is this outside air temp? You know, what is it? Honestly, this table should be outside air temp. Choose the outside air temp sensor to tell you what the air is, you know, coming in or going to be, because the air at the MAF sensor varies so quickly that, and I'm trying to say, if the air temp coming in is actually 212, because the outside air is 212, which is really hot, obviously, but if it was, we'll say it was, that means the intercooler is not getting cooled. And we have no actual indication of air is going into the engine, so we wouldn't even want to try harder to hit boost because there's so much heat going in the engine. We don't want to hit a lot of heat, so we take this down. But if outside air temp is cool, I see this one, it's fucked up. It almost needs to be a 3D map. Needs to be this one based on pre-turbo, and then this stuff based on post-turbo. Or this one would have intake air temp on one side and outside air temp on the other. Because what we want to know is, what are we going to get out of the engine in the long run? What are we going to get? Are we going to get a cool temp charge in the engine, which we'll know outside air temp is cold. Intercooler is going to be cooling off really quickly. Put some heat into it, but it's going to drop down really fast. Engine cool, and have an accurate representation of what's going on. Temperature at the inlet of the turbo is important, because right at the inlet of the turbo, it's going to dictate how responsive it is. If it's hot, we're going to need to add some duty cycle to it. But if it's staying hot for a long time, then we're not going to add duty cycle to it, because we don't want to add all that heat to the engine. So it's one of those tables that kind of sucks. And so even though from the factory, they add some right here, and then pull it up here. Protection here, and trying to increase response in the slightly warmer region. It gets really cold, they pull a lot of duty cycle out of it because they want it to overboost. It gets above 68, they want to add some base to compensate for underhood heat or some outside temperatures, add a little bit. But if it's really this freaking hot, they don't want to jam a bunch of heat into the engine. So this is typically similar to how I do mine, only this section here is much lower, right? So mine are going to be way lower here. We're only going to be at like 5% or so in that region on mine. And these are pulled down too much. So Cobb, you'll see, reduce that. I thought they did. Okay. Yeah, so they reduced it. They pulled down as much right there, because 40% is too much. That's too much. There's no reason to pull 40% out there. This is good. Then they killed this and made it all zeros. I don't like it. I usually make this lower, like 3 to 6%. Then I make this spot like Subaru did, 5 to 6% higher, and do one of these numbers like this, and then we're good to go for that. Today it's warmish. Outside, not too bad. We're operating in this zone, probably right here during the tune. And then when you leave the tune, it's going to be colder outside. Turbo's going to be more responsive. Its boost is going to go up. We want to make sure that it's pulling some duty cycle out to compensate for that. So there you have it. Now, fresh tune on the tuning session. So first thing we're going to do is that. I don't know where it's going to go. All right, begin the tuning session. I'm going to pull some out of this too, because I want to start off guaranteed safety. I'll leave this here. That'll be fine. I fucking control it. All right. Oh yeah. Probably has a lot of fuel right there. And in the end of the tune, see, it has 11.2 here, 10.2. That's a big difference. At the end of the tune, it'll probably be 11.2 across the board. It's hard to say. But at the beginning, in case things are going wrong, I want to add fuel everywhere to make sure that as I'm calibrating stuff, that I don't get lean at transients or excessive timing. All right, so that's where I start. I'm going to connect to it right now, and obviously those changes won't do anything. I'm going to click right now, just double check, see if there's any trims on the car. I'm excited. My TIG just got delivered while I was here at the shop. My TIG showed up at my home shop, so I get to start working on my turbo kits and stuff for the side-by-sides and all of that. So I'm really excited. 0.3%. All right, NAFCAL's good at idle. We'll get there. All right, so we're going to apply. I'm going to disconnect you. Cancel. Disconnect. I do not want to. I do want to. I'm going to re-up my base map. I hate the Export does this, or Export Windows 11, where the window you're on is no longer the dominant window. It just randomly changes the windows. Like, oh, you sure you want this other window to be on top? Like, I'm working with this program. Why the fuck would you change the active window to something else? I don't know why they do that. It's so annoying. All right. All right. So get this base map on here. Duty cycle knockdown. Make sure we're. That's why it's changed now. Export. Yeah, get this base changes on there, make sure we're safe, and then start hitting some targets. Anyways, I uploaded a message today, little voiceover on a time lapse, talking about the experimentation stuff and why I didn't have a bunch of videos posted about it, and it should make sense if you watch it. I think I'm going to do a lot more time lapse voiceovers because I like my voiceover voice, and I hope you do too, because you're going to hear more of it. Yeah, I thought the voiceover was nice and pleasant with the little music in the background and the stuff that I was doing. I wish I had more camera angles on it. Um, and obviously, it's a new format for me, so I got to work on making that better, improve the production quality, and do a few things to make those videos better. Trying to spend more time on videos, more days of the week versus the none days of the week. At least, two, I would say, towards getting videos produced and um, just better overall. I want to do a lot more experimentation. I want to do a lot more fabrication, adaptation, that kind of stuff. And I've always been at the mercy of tier one for all of that. In lane, when I'm not great at it, but I can weld. I can weld better than some people that have been doing it for a while. And I can fabricate shit. So I'd like to do more of it myself and rely on other people less. But that also gives me more time to work at my shop. And, every time I'm in there, I do something different to organize something, where I increase the level of cleanliness, which I'm trying to do all the time with it. Because right now there's just too much stuff in there because I moved from a big house to a small house. And I got a whole house worth of stuff in the loft. So whenever we build our other house, if I ever win the lottery, I look forward to getting stuff out of the loft. It's hot as balls in here. So that I can put more car stuff in the loft and less beds and furniture and stuff like that. So, and then get it more organized. Also, I need to finish the addition I'm doing on the shop right now at my house so that I can utilize that space as well. So, you gotta turn off auto connect because this is gonna try to make sense. No, no, no connect. I don't want you to connect. And I don't even know what the fuck this is good for. Like, I've never once used the EC data for export. Like, never once. Wow, that stinks. This AC smells like sewage. Oh, that's a bummer. Or he's got like a mouse dead in his cabin filter or something. Wow, that's foul. That's foul business right there. Over there, over there. Alright, unless that was my fart. No, I'm just kidding, that wasn't my fart. My fart's like roses, you can't do that. Jason, how's school? He asked. Hey man, I don't know. I'm not doing school this summer. I signed up for one class in the fall for computer science to keep working on that. So it's gonna be a while before I get my computer science degree. So I'm gonna do one class at a time. One, I'm at the GI Bill, so it's all out of pocket. Two, I've just got a lot going on and a bunch of school and a bunch of homework like I did last semester just really hurts. It really hurts the stuff I'm doing. Like I'm always trying to increase my level of knowledge, but man, I still gotta work, you know. And school makes work hard. Alright, in my opinion, it's getting too rich too soon. So I want to correct that. It's going down in 11 to 2 pounds. That's just too soon, in my opinion. So just a close to target. I do need to select some parameters in the log here. How have things been down south, Jason? Down south of our beautiful state. I mean, of our ugly state that nobody should ever visit. Jesus, don't come to Idaho. It's terrible. It's so crowded. There's bums everywhere, and it's dirty. You don't want to come to Idaho. That Cletus guy, he's a fucking liar. I don't know what he was thinking. Telling everyone it's beautiful here. I think he was in Iowa, and he kept saying Idaho or something. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, that's one thing about supers, man. Job security. Now, I try really hard to minimize the, the amount of broken supers that get added to the pile because there's plenty that I don't tune that break already, so I try not to tune any that break. Okay, I'm seeing some disparity here. Sosky. Not liking differences I'm getting there, Soskin. A degree or two on the intake is expected, but I'm getting some 6, 8 degree differences on the exhaust. I don't think that at all. 35 to 15. Left is swinging around. Fuck. That means either it's going to spin a bearing on the dyno or it needs solenoids, right? And I obviously hope that it's solenoids, but I don't want to fucking spin. Sure. Exhaust cams are funky. I don't like it. I don't, like that's one of two things. It's about to spin a bearing or it needs solenoids. I don't want to find out the hard way which one that is. But the O-ring on that one, I did notice was a little wet, but it wasn't like actively leaking. Okay. Because like when I'm cruising, it's bouncing from like 15 to 30 sometimes. With one of them to 20 something, and we get 22 to 30, 15 to 30, 28 to something. It's not very consistent. I believe the second engine managed to start already. Okay. I don't know what's on it though. Okay. So this mileage, 115, isn't necessarily this engine. This engine could be a lot less than that. Yeah. What kind of happen too, you think, is when they put the
they reuse the sprockets, you don't think they're perfect, right? Or block it off a little bit?
I don't think it's off, and I don't think the spring is broken, but that pin could be tweaked and it's lost a little bit of pressure. But, usually it's the solid. So it's happening. And 115, the bottom ones next to the exhaust and everything, like they could be definitely gummed up, right? There could definitely be oil coating on it if they get that way,
Okay. I can pull them off in the morning and check them and get them ordered because we can get them.
Yeah, I would rather that we did that and then I cruise on it and go, oh, good, they're in time, and go, and then not do it, do a pull and spin the bearing and be like, oh, I guess that was the bearing instead.
Right.
Check
them and if it fixes it, cool.
If it fixes it, great. If it doesn't, then it's got an oil pressure issue or something.
Okay. Yeah, because it shouldn't be bouncing out. They should ideally have good pressure because
yeah, and I was at like 3,000 RPM, so
okay.
Should have plenty of oil pressure right there.
I will check them first thing in the morning.
Okay. I really wanted to get this done, and I'm streaming it right now too, and I wanted to get all that stuff done, but I just don't want to. I don't want to kill another car on the dyno.
Right. That makes sense.
So, but everything else is really good. Like fuel trims are less than 1%. Like everything is, even the correction. That's 3. 1.78. Learning 0. Like it's been really good. I got 1.4 in the second zone. Like it's been great, and all that. Just that fucking exhaust cam. Both of them are kind of like left one's worse than right. Left one's usually worse than right. But I just don't want to give another person bad news.
That's right. Yeah, I'll check them out in the morning and see what we got.
Okay. Can you do it on the dyno or not?
I probably could.
Is it tray on it right now? Okay, so you definitely could.
Yeah, I'll get gaskets and I'll pop them on first thing in the morning because to get those out, you gotta take them off.
Oh, sure, yeah. Not the funnest.
Not terrible.
I know one of them you can get without taking that off. One of them
can. But the other one you have like the valve cover where the bolt goes in. It says so you can't get it out. You gotta take the whole thing out.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to give that guy bad news. Find out it's that. Yeah, I'd rather it's $200 instead of $400. At least know for sure.
What do you think if we oil pump then if it is pressure issue or?
If it's new foreign bearing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That makes sense.
I mean, but there are times when I've seen lots of pumps that back the bolts out of the vacuum plate. That's a possibility. And it was in this era, mostly on the 255s, the 10s, where I've seen the 11s. Maybe at all. Definitely seen on the 255s. So, maybe not. Okay.
I'll get some gaskets or I'll check it first thing in the morning and let you know.
Okay. I'll go back and get. What, talk to you. I'll put the stream off. Well, poop. I just don't like it, because of this thing again. Like, it's snappy, but then it starts to drift. Oh, yeah, more. I have Target on here. Target must be a later year. Target was on there so I could see what it was exactly. I could look at the map. I know I could rub you between a couple spots on the map, but I don't have 30 on the exhaust in here anywhere, right? There's no 30. Why is it hitting 30 multiple times? Like 2 to 3 degrees is one thing, but you start getting 7 degrees, that gets me nervous, okay, comparison is unloaded. Like trace it. I think the throttle needs a little cleanup up top too, or down low. Here, actually, drop, we get the Excel, the reduction in target, and they're both tracking right now. Just bouncing the cam. It's interesting. It's one called DC. Change something like I hurt my foot, and I realized the AC compressor was kicking on. So you know what I'm going with? This is my guess. My guess is it's solenoids. It's not the engine. And the reason I'm saying that I think it's solenoids is because the oil's heating up. Oil's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. It's just on the dyno because you don't have very good cooling when you're not on the road, and the oil temp is mirrored with the coolant temp. Plus, there's I'm driving it, put load on it, it's running. So the oil's getting thinner. The longer I've been here, the oil's getting thinner, and the cams are getting more accurate with thinner oil, which makes me think the solenoids are either not opening as far, they're going to leak, or they're gumming up and not opening as far. And so I'm getting better control and response through a smaller orifice because my oil is getting thinner. So I really think it's the solenoids. Just judging by the fact that it has improved since I talked to Tanner about it, and all I did was sit with the car running for a while. It's still overshooting a little bit, right there, 31, which still tells me, that it's having issues with duty cycle. Should bring control duty cycle. Soon bring in here, cold duty. That may give us some insights as well. There. Soft, left, and right. Oh yeah, see how that duty cycle hunts a lot? Yeah, see that's hunting quite a bit. That's telling me it's not getting, like look at the left. Left is way more active in hunting. Right is staying within a couple percent. So that's the fact that it's going high, it's only 40%, again, makes me think that it's not low oil pressure, that's a solenoid. So I'm glad that it's not. It's like if it was taking 60% to hit the target, then it would be low oil pressure. But now I'm seeing it's only 40% of the target, so I'm pretty certain now it's solenoids, and that's comforting. That's good to know. So I forgot I had two pairs of glasses on. That's funny. Got my sunglasses and my reading glasses. So that's good. At least that's the indications. That's what I believe the indications are telling me are going on with this car. It's popping to 50 like it does normally. It's overshooting the target initially, then undershooting a bit. Right there's that hunt. That's hunting at too low of a duty cycle for it to be oil pressure low. So that's good. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna do a pull. I know I told him I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna do a pull because with those indications, I feel way more better. And I want to see how it responds on the higher RPM. So I'm gonna do one. I'm doing a wastegate pressure. And one wastegate pressure pull. Like, depending on what they're trying to do. Tell them. 9 degrees of timing, 10 pounds of boost, no correction, as there shouldn't be. Plenty rich. Everything looks smooth. Alright, so I'm gonna tell them real quick. Get back.
Turn it off, so it's gonna be louder for that. That's package. I don't even know how much.
Alright, I'm back. Alright, so I'm gonna keep going with this because I'm certain it's the low pressure. Or not low pressure, the solenoid. So I'm gonna keep going with this. Provided let me bring that. Can I close that log? Can I close that log? Dummy. I want to look at that last log again. Just check the cams up top. I ate too much at lunch. So I'm not losing control of the cams up top. It's a little off, but not, it's only a couple degrees. I'm fine with that. And take 2, actually 3. Huh. Interesting. So I'm going to keep going because it's just that cruise of the exhaust valve. And I truly believe it's not a pressure issue because the dew cycle is really low, as I said. So I think y'all can concur with that logic. If not, well, fuck me. I guess today's potty mouth day. I swear more today than I usually do. It's the ventilation of this bitch. Without AC. But see that curve, it's getting pressure. Oh, I want to adjust that explosive threshold stuff, then I target. It's just so rich, so fast. Say no. Let's check the tail first. Yeah, got that. So you have open with closed loop targets, right? Ouch. And you can force it to go to open loop by having this value rich, or you can force it to be open loop by exceeding other values. By a accumulation of compensations that can actually push you past the threshold that push you no. Can be just a single parameter, throttle position, duty cycle, things like that. You can force to go for them. I believe that what I'm trying to hit is the reason I went open loop. It got really raised because of this table. So I'm gonna lay this table up to base those spots again and see if it stays closed loop. Yep. Okay, that's a little too much. Right. All right. Now it stays closed loop during that region, and what I can do is I can tell it that I want it to target a richer AFR while in closed loop. So I can still be closed loop in a few pounds of boost by using this table here. Now, if I throw a bunch at it, like if I throw too much at it here, what'll happen is I'll push it past that threshold where it goes open loop. I want to add about that much to it. That's why I was getting this 1.6 area. I do actually want to add a little more to 1.4 too as well. So just a little bit. It was getting 13 and change at a couple pounds of boost, and that's great. I want you a little more, just right at the bottom of 13s, the top of 12s at 3 pounds of boost. Not 11s like it was. That's just too much. But definitely not high 13s. Right? Think about a car that's NA, for example. NA cars on the road are going to be happier. They're going to make power. They're going to run better at like 13.2-ish AFR, and a low compression turbo engine with only 2 or 3 pounds of boost on it. That's about as aggressive as an NA engine of the same being high compression. So like my target's gonna be around the same, low 13, something like that. So that's where I'm gonna want it here. So now, if I flash this, as long as I didn't push myself into open loop with this 0.6, that's one thing I gotta watch out for. Make sure I don't push myself open loop with this value. Check that. We go. That. See, that one I technically do. Close loop target flow comp only. So I did go too far there, so let's pick this up. lower. I want to see low 13s, so I'll just do like that. Still there, and then check the primary open loop section, open loop primary, activation. Where'd it go? Okay. 14. That too. Like so. Double check this. So this one here will push me open loop. This one here will not. So I might want to switch to that. I might want that one pushing. Just get really close to it, and then just see how it behaves. So it kind of responds like that. So I'm watching the wideband on the dyno. I'm watching boost on the dyno together at the RPM right around 3,500, 4,000 RPM. Trying to make sure that it does pop open loop soon enough, but it doesn't go open loop too soon. Not too soon. Hope that makes sense. So there's a whole list of things that pop these things in open loop. And then once they go in open loop, they use this table here. So if you set this too rich, it'll trigger open loop when it hits that cell. If you leave this lean, then it relies on other things to trip you in. Like I can leave this 14.7, and other things will trip it into open loop. But the open loop target is likely to be 14.7 plus compensation. So if you have compensations for air temp or whatever you have in your specific tune, those will add on to it. So you'll get something richer than stoic vent. Your fuel comps and all the stuff they got going on. Right now, I'm just trying to get some flash and get this done for this 420 already. Which means 5 o'clock is coming up. Everyone vacates the premises at 5. See my last video, Jason? Hold on a second. Let's double check here. So 62%, I got 350. Okay? 60% I got 350. So 350, I have a target of 15 psi for this for 62% throttle. That's kind of high, honestly. 62% throttle gives me 15 pounds of weight. That means that the next 40% throttle, which is almost half the throttle movement, I'm going to get half more engine power, only 4 more pounds or 3 pounds of boost. That's not likely, so that's high. And honestly, that should probably be closer to 11. Closer to wastegate pressure, honestly. So let's do that. Let's knock that down. Is that just not logical? I don't think that's logical. Oh, I'm offline. Other stuff. I mean, it'll boost creep its way up there on its own. It doesn't need to be targeted. Yeah, it seems silly otherwise. I mean, I guess technically look at requested torque at 350. Here's Port Sharp. That's up here now. So a slight increase in throttle position. Yeah, I don't understand why it's super this part. This part bugs me. I don't think this at all. I mean, yeah, I don't think that much to that, but so yes, technically I have to go up. It's fine because that's up here. So if I wanted to hold 10 pounds of boost, we'll say from 4,000 to 7,000, then I do need to raise it up to have 10 pounds to 7. That being said, is that what I want? Probably. Honestly, probably. So shift that back. There's 270 on here, right here. So right here, yeah, 10. I mean, even 10 pounds down here would make more sense, and it would fade up to it from 4,000. Start dropping at 62, 345, 50 right here. Yeah, 4,000. So tapering at 4,000. So the other option is to take that map and make it the same value all the way down, but that induces a whole bunch of other work that you may not want to do. There's 360 on this up top. 360 is at 80% and 75%. So even then, I'm only going to want 11 or 12 up there at the top. If even that, because this thing's only going to hold 13 or so to red line. So 360, bad. It's not bad. That's fine. But it's really interesting, though, I think about it. I only have 12 to 10 this whole way. It's all this low, but it drops so fast. How packed in that spot is. What's crazy, if you look at that torque map, this is 20, 30, 40, 50, right? That looks like a really long range of torque. But you look at the map, and between 70 and 80, 50, 50, almost 60, right? Like huge difference in requested torque from these two cells. Such a drastic difference. Such small throttle inputs. So really, 80 to 70, I only want the boost to drop a smidge, like a tiny bit. So we look at this boost target. 80 to 70 is down here. It only drops a little bit. But even then, like, to get this a certain way, it takes a long time to go through. Pick it all apart, hit every zone, get it to where it's linear as possible, or whatever shape you want it to be. But anyways, we're going to continue on. Set this here, 35. I double check my boost target, which brought this on in the first place. At 350, my target is 11, which is just above wastegate pressure on this thing. So I don't need 35%, right? That's not going to be needed. Let's do 10. Actually, at the bottom, though, 350, it's got a little more boost asking at it. So we're going to 15 right here. I'll taper that to the 4,000 mark, just like our target boost. And then up here, 380, 425. We're going to go 55 here. bring that up. Now at 425, that's 100% throttle the whole way. So that won't use much. 380 though, that's involved in that taper as well. We're gonna say 45 here, up to 4K, like that. That should give us a initial or a high duty cycle closer to what our boost target looks like. And in my opinion, it's important that you do this because right, you saw before, you'll see here at the low, there's a lot of duty cycle down here. Not as much here. They probably did a better job here, but at 330, what are we requesting in 330? At 330, we're requesting 9 pounds. That's wastegate pressure plus a tiny, tiny bit. So why do we have 36% or 26% at 330 to hit what's slightly above wastegate pressure? It's a little excessive in my opinion. And what happens with these cars, when you have a tune like that, what you get is a car that the boost goes and oscillates. And a small change in throttle, the boost goes and moves around and stuff. I've had customers say like, "Oh man, the stage 2 map, I give a little bit of throttle, and it goes up and down again." I feel like it just kind of falls off and dies. And what's really happening is this boost is dropping to where it's supposed to be, and they're losing torque. So so this minimizes that torque. This does has the slight negative effect of not giving you as much instant boost when you tip in. Not get quite as much. But in my opinion, it's better than an overshoot. What we get? There we go. Sport Shark, you only hit 12 pounds of boost at that RPM. That's interesting. It's the best way to put that. I am the dyno in the right mode. Let's try it again. So I have to add more than whatever I put on there. I put 35% or whatever. 35% at 12 pounds? God damn it. Oh, that's not good. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. 60% wastegate duty cycle, and it's only hitting 60% for hitting 12 pounds, 13 pounds. That's not good. I don't like that. That's unfortunate. Airfield looks really good, which makes me think it's not a leak. What's actually weird about that is I have a lot of fuel added on that fuel map, and well, it says a cat, so obviously it's going to read lean up tailpipe with a cat like 30%. I guess it does make sense. It's usually about half a point, half to like it's usually 0.5 to 0.8 coming in far lean up tailpipe. Then what is it the engine with a cat, and I'm seeing 11.0 to 10.2. So the lower horsepower output would definitely aid or be indicative of that, as well as lower boost. Although the airflow is surprisingly high for all, well, 247. That's not a lot. Like with this percentage, I actually have more airflow. Huh. definitely have more airflow. See, time that's conservative 9 degrees, 10 degrees, 11, 12 by 5,000, 13 by 55-ish, 15 by 55-ish. It's really good. Air temps are going up though. That's also pulling some timing out of there. Yeah, I don't like that. That sucks. I don't want to add a ton of duty cycle to try and hit that target boost, but man, if I have to, I have to. Add 40%, not 40% duty, but 40% of the ratio to that area. The fact that it took so much to hit this low boost target is concerning too. So that's a lot of duty cycle right there, 77%. That's for a 3-port on the stock turbo, that's a lot. And for as little boost it was making and everything else, not really a huge fan of that. Not a fan. I mean, it's a brand new solenoid, so turbo can be tired, shit. Like there's like 15 pounds. 18. That's definitely not a lot of boost for as much duty as I'm throwing at it. So let's talk about this overlap. As you remember in the beginning of the tune, I added a bunch of overlap to it in the mid range. And this thing is just not great boost, so that might be too much. I'm going to do just straight down to 20 right here in this region again. Just pull 5 right out of it there. Here's fine. This should be good. Go 0 once first here. 5 degrees I added in the exhaust. I added 10 degrees overlap to it. It's not a lot. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot. It'd be a lot in the name of bullshit. A lot. Go back to stock values. Stock values in that region. But the fact that the boost isn't even peaking until 42 or 4300 with a stock turbo at almost 60% duty, it's not good. I might be 50 some percent. No, right there. Shit, 60 some percent. It's just not building peak until it's a 70 some percent. That is, I mean, I know it's warm today, but that is way too much duty cycle, in my opinion, for what they normally take. Way more than they take. And yeah, I don't want to put that on. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Like this turbo with the stock top mount should be reaching peak boost at like 2,500, not 4,400. What is it? It's yeah, it's 4,400, maybe even 4,500. Because it's only hitting 14 pounds or so by 3,300. That is not stock turbo characteristic at all. So not a fan. Not a fan of that. That's crazy. That means a 16G XT, the 16G XT hits more boost faster, holds more to red line, and makes more power. I tell people all the time, put the 16G XT on these cars, and it's stupid how good they are. Um, they're too good almost because they put so much into it down low and hold it through the top that it feels like a Camaro. It just feels like a big V8, like a blown V8 under the hood. There's no turbo lag. Like there's no rush of that torque when the turbo hits. There's none of that. Just put your foot down and it makes power torque. It's pretty remarkable. It's one of the reasons I love the 16 GXT on these cars so much for a daily. It's way too little horsepower for me though, so I would want to run two of them sequentially. That's what I want to do. Two 16 GXTs activated sequentially into a parallel system. That'd be sweet. And I really wanted to do that to my GC, but fuck, there's not enough room. There's no room under those cars. No damn room. I sat there for hours just dreaming of turbo placements. Oh, I get in here. If I defy the laws of fucking physics, like, wanted to fit so bad. I have to cut the radiator support out of it, push the radiator forward like 6 inches at the bottom, and tilt it. Which I'm not against, because I don't have the front mount anymore. To make the room up front to put the turbos up there. And trust me, I still want to do it. Now that I got my welder, I might. To be honest with you, I just fucking might. But part of me wants to do it on a different car first, instead of cutting my 4GC up, because I'm the original owner of that car. My wife, because I have 4 of them. Yeah. Exactly. Just do it right. Well, I mean, I could do it on a GD. I could do it on a GR. I feel like GR's got tons of room. VAs have less than GRs, but I can do it on any of those cars. It's the GC that's just not a room. Like I said, I think I mean, it sure sounds good, but maybe they gave our boots. What's telling me? Sorry, guys, I gotta answer this. I have no other choice. I think it'll end the stream if I do. Oh no, what? I'm dumb. I'm not using my phone right now. Hello. Hey, Annie, how you doing? Uh, was it the car on the dyno? Was it me farting? Was it me going, haha? Did I go, haha? Like that? Yeah, that was me. That was me realizing that I'm an idiot in front of the internet. They were all right about me. Just kidding. Oh, I'm a dick. Oh, well, they're definitely right about that. I'm not gonna have to time in this thing. Because obviously it's all the boost she's gonna make. It ain't anywhere near what it should be doing. Well, it is hit 18 eventually, so I give it that. But man, that low end boost there, it's not great. It should need 80%. That's basically what I'm getting at. It shouldn't need this much duty cycle to hit these boost targets. I don't like it that it's taking that much. But
Knocked the shit out
oh, did it stand it?
of it. Holy bomb.
That's why I use the jumper cables on the cars a lot. I don't have it on there today though. I do, yeah. But I'm done here too.
Got juice in the back in a second.
Okay, what's that mean?
Well, me and Chad got something that you got. Got everything falling in except the chip part with the other thing.
It's a hot bitch in here. Holy crap. Down sometimes. Kind of a little bit, but it pretty much flatlines. It's flatlined for a while. Drops like 2, 1, 2, maybe 3. If you count that one spot there, that could be turbulence in the airstream. So pretty flatline. Yeah, this turbo's done. Toast. She is a sleepy girl. All right. Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is all there is for this tune to do today. I'm going to talk to the owner, see if he wants to get a turbo that's not worn the fuck out. This thing is obviously one done. He doesn't want a big power jump. He doesn't want to do a fuel system and all the stuff that goes with that. Then he should do a 16G XT, and we'll still have to cut the top end down pretty heavily because those things will make some flow up top compared to stock turbo. But something like that for a new stock center cartridge, this guy's future, I would say the 16G XT at least I can lower the boost. I could run a flat 13 psi across the entire power band, max out the fuel system, and have super flat torque all the way to redline, and that'd be a lot of fun until he's ready to do fuel stuff. And if he wants more than that, then we can talk bigger. But I don't know. I just think that that's where we're at with this thing. Not a whole lot to achieve. Hit targets. It's pretty good. I should probably try and throw you. Yeah. Let's see. All right, get that part. As we get up there closer. Forehead, 5 head. So it's pretty smooth, but yeah, the torque is less than 300, and I mean, I could throw a couple degrees of timing at it, but it's going to get that back when your temp drops. The torque up a little bit, but the fact that the boost doesn't peak until 4,400 is really what tells us. Yeah, that's a good point, Will. I forgot about that. I like to lower the pressure on him, turn the arm down some, but with that a heavier 18, you really can only drop it down a few psi with it. A lot of cars we run external wastegates on, which I guess is legal now, isn't it? We used to run external wastegates on stuff. And then with those, we put 11 or 12 pound springs in them, and then go from there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to converse with this guy, see what he wants to do. Or maybe he's fine with it. Maybe he's happy with exactly where it is and doesn't need anything else and knows that he's just limited in this area and that's the way it's going to be. I don't know. We'll find out. He's not here today, so I can't really talk to him right now. Find out what he wants to do. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. Sorry I didn't have those experimental videos last week like I wanted. I hope my other video explains that. And hopefully in the next week or two, when parts start showing up, be able to have a lot more cool things and it's only videos to post and all of that. So thanks a lot. Have yourselves a good day. Remember, it's all in the June.